Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bergen, and for today's video we are going to be reviewing a sunscreen from Bergen Dermatology. This is their Sheer Joy Sunscreen with SPF 50+. The sunscreen was created by a black dermatologist, so woohoo! And the sunscreen has been very highly requested from you guys, so I was really excited to get it and to try it and to review it for you. So before we jump into the video, as always, I want to talk about my skin type. I have oily, acne-prone, extremely sensitive skin. Right now it is, what month are we in? It is the end of September, almost going into October. So here in Minnesota, the weather is getting a little bit cooler, a tad bit drier, so I have been looking for sunscreens that are a little bit more hydrating. We're not quite in the winter months where I like a heavy sunscreen, but we're getting there. Okay, so that is my skin type. Okay, unrelated, but my acne has been doing so well lately, guys. I don't know, I think my retinol is finally like settling in and deciding to do what it's supposed to do, but my skin has been doing pretty well. So I haven't really had any major acne flare-ups, and I will say that this sunscreen did not cause any of that for me either. So yeah, yay for me. So let's talk about what's in this sunscreen. So the active ingredients in here are zinc oxide 14.7% and titanium dioxide 3.5%. Some other like added ingredients are vitamin C, E, and lycopene, and these are antioxidants, so they're going to help to protect the skin from free radical damage. With this sunscreen, you're going to get UVA and UVB protection as well as blue light protection, and this does include some iron oxides as well. It also has some pro-aging peptides which help kind of to support your skin and the collagen production. And it says that it helps improve the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and also your skin elasticity and tone. They claim on their site that this is for all skin types. When I was on their site, they only had the 1.7 ounce option, so I picked that up, but I guess they also carry a 3.3 ounce option, and that is $44. I personally would say that this sunscreen is a little bit more on the moderate to high end, but I do believe that Bergen Dermatology kind of promotes themselves as more of a luxury-esque type dermatology skincare line, so take that however you want. Like I said, this is a mineral sunscreen, so as far as between mineral and chemical, if you have been watching me for a while, you know that I prefer a mineral sunscreen, but my issue is that they tend to leave a white cast and they're just super annoying to work with. But I didn't have that experience with this, so let's get into how it actually wore. So I wore this sunscreen for I want to say 2 weeks straight. I really wanted to get a feel of how it wore before I sat down and gave you an in-depth review of it. All right, so let me show you guys the formula. It comes in a pump, so that makes it easy. I like the pumps because usually I can measure out exactly how many pumps I need, and then I can do that instead of following the 2-finger, so you get a little bit more accuracy with that. But it comes in a pump, and then the formula is like, it looks like a very thick lotion almost. It rubs in really well. As you guys can see, it's rubbing in even right now. I will show you how it looks on my face, but just to see on my hand, as you can see, it rubs in really well. There's no white cast. It's very smooth, very hydrating. And as you can see, look at that. It looks so, there's nothing. Okay, I still don't understand how this is a mineral sunscreen, because there is no white cast at all. It just blends in so like smooth and seamlessly, and it has like a bit of a glow, a sheen to it, which I'm not like the biggest fan of a very glowy look, because I do have oily skin. Like, I'm gonna get that glow anyways. I don't want to start out with it, but this is a very glowy moisturizing sunscreen. So now when I first wore it, I decided to put on my moisturizer as normal and then put the sunscreen on top of it. And as you guys can see, it blends in like seamlessly. There's no white cast. I would say this formula is like, it's not heavy, but it is very hydrating and very like a lotion, like a moisturizing lotion. But it blends in seamlessly, and it leaves you with a lot of it of a glow, especially if you have moisturizer underneath. So I put it on rubbed it in, and then I waited 15 minutes, which I didn't even need to because it looked perfect right from the jump. It was looking seamless, but then I let it sit 15 minutes so you can kind of see. I felt like I was looking a little too oily for my liking, but it did look pretty good. And then I wore it for 2 hours, came back, blotted, and reapplied. The reapplication of this is really nice. I didn't find that it was clumping up or producing a white cast like some sunscreens do when you reapply it for the second time. It looked just as good the second time and third time as it did the first time. So reapplication with this was really nice. I forgot to mention that this sunscreen there's no fragrance to it. It just smells like a very light, like regular sunscreen smell to it. There's no added fragrance or anything, and it's not strong. One thing that I did notice from the first day of wearing is that this sunscreen burns the eyes. This is not really one that you would want to wear around your eyes. I ended up adjusting and just stopping and wearing it everywhere else, and then not wearing it on my eyes and replacing it with a different sunscreen that didn't, you know, cause irritation. But my eyes were like watering and burning that first day, so I would not recommend putting it around your eye area. Also, the sunscreen is not waterproof, so I did notice that when I was working out and sweating, and you know, the sweat kind of runs down, the sunscreen kind of runs down with it. It didn't turn white or anything when I began to sweat, but it did run into my eyes, so keep that in mind. All right, so the second time that I wore this, I decided to skip the moisturizer and just put my acne treatment on and then go straight to the sunscreen. So, and with my oily skin, I preferred wearing it like this actually. I felt like the sunscreen itself was moisturizing enough where I can do that and feel still hydrated and comfortable. Again, without the moisturizer, I put an adequate amount on. I waited the 15 minutes and then I showed you guys, and then I came back after 2 hours of wear, and as you can see, after 2 hours I do still look shiny, which I didn't love because I prefer a more matte finish, but it wasn't too crazy. That's how it wore without the moisturizer. I think without the moisturizer as well, it blended in a lot better as far as how it felt. When I had a moisturizer underneath, it kind of felt like it had a bit of a residue to it, which I didn't like, but when I skipped the moisturizer, it really like actually sunk into the skin a little better, and it didn't feel like, you know, I had sunscreen on my face. So when I wore this one with makeup, I will insert a clip of it. I don't think it's the best with makeup. Like, I had to use a lot of powder to combat the glowiness, but it wore okay with the makeup. I just found that there was a lot more separation around my nose and, you know, around my creases, where the sunscreen was kind of like breaking up the makeup a little bit. But it wasn't terrible. Like, I could still deal with it, and I just felt like I had to wear more powder, you know, to chill out with the glow. So overall, I think I was pleasantly surprised with the sunscreen, and I will probably continue to wear it, especially more in the winter months where I want a little bit more moisture. If you have a deeper complexion, this is like 2 thumbs up. There was no white cast, there was no purpley cast, there was no grade, nothing like that. It really blended in. So if you are someone who has a deeper complexion and you haven't really had the best of luck with mineral sunscreens, I would definitely go ahead and give this one a try. I think it would work for most, if not all, like skin tones. So for my sensitive girls who have very sensitive skin and react easily to things, I think this again will be a good option for you. Mineral sunscreens in general are usually a good option for people with sensitive skin, and I didn't experience any reactions or anything to it, so I think this would be a good option if you have sensitive skin. As far as my actual skin types, my oily girls, I don't know, I'm like, I think it would work well in the winter months, but in like the warmer summer months, I don't know if you would enjoy it because it is very glowy and it is very moisturizing. So if you have oily skin, you may just need to use like a powder to tone it down. You may find yourself blotting a lot more often than you normally would, so just keep that in mind. If you have normal skin, I think this will work great for you. If you have dry skin, even better. I honestly think the sunscreen is made for people with dry skin, but that's just my thoughts. But yeah, if you have dry skin, definitely give this a try. I think it's very moisturizing and your skin would probably enjoy it. Lastly, if you're a very active person and you're sweating and swimming, this is not a waterproof sunscreen, so I would not recommend it for you. And also, it does sting the eyes, so if you're working out, it might be running into your eyes and then you're like crying while you're trying to lift weights like I was. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. If you have tried it and you loved it, let me know. If you haven't tried it and you're interested in it, let me know. If you tried it and you hated it, also let me know. Comment down below. And as always, if you have any other sunscreen recommendations, make sure you leave them down in the comment section. I read all those, I add them to my list, and I work my way through it, okay? So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!